Do you ever get bored with the same old jewelry making supplies? How about transforming a humble copper washer into a gorgeous jewelry component? Stick around, I'll show you everything you need to know to do just that. Hey there, Sandy here with another jewelry tutorial at keepsakecrafts.net. This is the box of copper washers in question. Got them from Amazon for $10. And it's a wonderful assortment of all different sizes. So let's get right into it. I mean, you can just use these as links. If you look at this, it's like a soldered link. But hammering them and adding a texture is what is going to make them look really spectacular. Here I have just a leather sandbag and a stainless steel bench block. And time to get out any hammers you want. I actually used all sorts of things. This is a chasing hammer. You can get one like it at a craft store, not very expensive. It has one smooth side over here, but we're going to use this little round side to get your classic hammered texture. This is loud, so I'll be quiet and just turn down the sound for you. Isn't that lovely? It's so beautiful. Now keep in mind, if you want both sides textured, what you want to do is actually do the back first. Because see what happened to the side I did first? It flattened out a little. So that will be the back and this will be the front. So that's one really great texture. Another favorite of mine is done with a riveting hammer. I don't know that I have done any riveting with this hammer, but I do love texturing with it. And you can do this a couple ways. My favorite is to keep this blade kind of perpendicular to the edge of the washer. And yes, you don't have to do the same texture all over your entire piece. You can do whatever you want. The other way to use this hammer would be to keep this blade, it's probably got a better name, I don't know, but to keep it facing in the same direction so you get parallel lines. So you'll have to do this in stages. So once you get about half, turn it around and just have it facing so the lines are going the same way. And there are three really cool textures just with two simple hammers. If you want to hammer one of these small washers, you're not going to be able to safely hold it with your fingers. So what I suggest you do is just get a little painter's tape. You can hammer right through the tape, and that will hold it down. I like to leave some of it showing so I can see where I'm at. And you may kind of end up destroying your tape. You'll have to, it kind of shreds, and sometimes it leaves little pieces. But there you go. You'll just, if you need to flip it over, you'll just, or do another part, you'll just relocate to a clean spot of the tape and no crushed fingers. If you have one of these, this is actually also a pretty inexpensive tool. I mean, they make expensive forms, but this is not that. And it comes with different heads that you can screw in. So it's an 8-in-1 texture hammer. And you can just pop any of those in there that you want and get a different texture. And I'll show you the different textures that these make. You know, I think this project was the first time I actually used all of these. It was fun to experiment with the lines, and this time I didn't keep them going parallel. The little squares, the diamond plate. Now these ones with the little areas naturally take a bit longer to do than a head with a broad pattern. This is this little dot, and it's got a little nub there, so it adds some extra texture as opposed to this one, which is just a point. It's only a tiny bit different. And then this one was even more different in that it kind of made these debossed dots. It's a more subtle texture. This one was done with the square little head. And then these two were the regular hammer and the riveting hammer that I showed you. I did do an extra step on these, if you notice, these washers have a bit of a curve, and I used a dapping block to do that. Now, I happen to have this set with all of the dapping dies that go with it because I love tools. But if you don't have this, you can find just a set with 2 wells and 2 dies at a craft store. And again, not for a lot of money. And these will work fine for this technique. And what you want to do is find a well that is a little bit bigger than the piece you want to shape, and then a die that is actually a little bit smaller than that well. And what I'm looking for is one that will fit this like this. And then you want to try to get that in there with the textured side down and fairly horizontal, and get that on there so it's nestled right in there. Don't use your texturing hammers to do this. Use a brass hammer or a nylon hammer or something a little heavy. This is called a dead blow hammer because the brass helps absorb some of the blow. Now you can keep going with this, but I just wanted kind of a subtle curve on it. It just makes it look more like a jewelry component and less like a plumbing supply. And that is what I did with all of these. Just gave them a bit of subtle curve. You can use these washers as connectors as long as you can cut some of them. And some of them were a little heavy and thick. So like these ones where the walls are thicker than, say, these ones. These ones probably would need to be cut with a really heavy-duty pair of cutters or a jeweler's saw. So I just stuck with the skinnier ones for cutting and used these for other things. Before you do this, do your texturing. It just makes it easier because it's going to spread and thin out a little, and it may be misaligned after texturing. Then you want a heavy-duty pair of wire cutters. These are flush cutters, and they're rated for up to 16 gauge wire. I don't think I would want to cut anything much bigger than this with these. So I'll just go in just like that. Squeeze. Now with flush cutters, you get one cut that's pretty flat and one that's pointed. So I'm just going to flip this around and cut off that pointed bit. Just catch that little end so it doesn't go flying. Then you'll want to come in with the file, and remember that files cut on the push. So I mean, you can go back and forth, but just want to make sure that those cut edges are smooth and aren't going to snag anybody. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth until those meet. I don't want you to miss out, but all of my patrons and everyone who joins my Patreon by the end of this month, June 2023, gets their choice of a tutorial from my Etsy shop for free. Check it out and let me know in the comments below which of my tutorials you would most like to get. And with those 3 techniques, hammering, dapping, and cutting to make little jump rings, you can construct all kinds of things. And that's all you do. You just treat this like a jump ring. If you want to add a little color, instead of combining them with your handmade jump rings, you can just use bead links. If you want to get really fancy, do wrapped loops. Takes a lot longer, but looks really beautiful. You have a built-in toggle clasp, so you can use wire to create a hook that will attach them together, or to make a toggle bar, and I will link to videos that show you how to do that. Some of the textures will leave kind of sharp edges, so do make sure to come in with your file and just file your pieces until they feel nice, because of course if a piece of jewelry is scratchy or rough, who wants to wear that? And one final bonus idea for you is to make a beaded starburst using one of your rings as a hanger. So you texture your ring, and then you just make a whole bunch of simple loops with beads. These are all Swarovski crystals, but it just makes this lovely beaded cluster. So you string all of those loops onto some beading wire and add a ring of whatever size you want. And then add a crimp bead and send the other end of your wire back through the crimp in the opposite direction. So it looks like that. Then you want to get your pliers on that bead at this point. And it's at this point you need 3 hands. But you just pull these wires snug and then squeeze. And isn't that the prettiest little dangle? You can trim off the excess wire. I have about 24 dangles on here. It really depends on the size of your beads. And isn't that the cutest thing? You could put an ear wire on top to make a great pair of earrings. You could add a chain to make a necklace.
But if you love something as crazy as using a copper washer in your jewelry designs, I guarantee you will love all of the creative ideas in the mixed media playlist I put together for you.